Okay, welcome class 7. How are you all? I hope all of you are keeping well. You must have watched the previous two videos, and in those videos, like you have seen that the first video I have introduced about tissue and the plant cell, and in the second video I have also introduced about plant cell and their types, right? So in the second video you have seen that plant tissues are having main two types, that is meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. And I have also explained about the different types of meristematic tissue. Okay, I hope you are also reading your chapters with that so that you can understand the concept quite well. Now in this video I am going to explain you further, that is about the second type of plant tissue, which is permanent tissue. Okay, as you can see here, we have all I have already drawn the word diagram on the board, but I will be explaining you stepwise. Okay, you know that the second type of plant tissue is permanent tissue. Now permanent tissue has got two main types, that is simple tissue, simple permanent tissue you can say, and another one is complex permanent tissue. Now simple permanent tissue, as we know that permanent tissue are having cells which are non-dividing. I mean they do not divide, but then they take part in the various functions and other activities. Fine. So here you can see simple and complex tissue. On the basis of their function, they are again divided into three types. Now you can see here simple permanent tissue is divided into two types: protective permanent tissue and supportive permanent tissue. Now these are the functions of the plant. Okay, so protective permanent tissue means what? In this type of tissue, the cells which will be present, they will help the plant to protect. Protect in what sense? And which part of the plant they will protect? They will basically protect all the parts of the plant, but the upper surface of the plant parts. Okay, upper surface means you can say any part of the plant. It can be stem, it can be leaf, it can be roots. Okay, so all these parts are having the upper surface, which is also known as epidermis. Okay, so the first type of simple permanent tissue is protective tissue, which helps the plants to protect the upper surface of the plant parts, right? Then we move to the supportive permanent tissue. Now this permanent tissue is again help the plant to support in various functions. Now I will be showing you few the diagrams of supportive tissue. Now again supportive tissue is further divided into three types of tissues. I will show you here. Let me write down first the name of the three types of supportive tissue. If you have gone through your chapter, you must have read that supportive tissue is further divided into three main types. First one is parenchyma, second is collenchyma. It is also known as chlorenchyma. Two names but then they are same. Okay, two terms but then they are same. Collen and chlorenchyma, both are same. Then third one is sclerenchyma. I know the terms are a little difficult, but then you have to learn to pronounce them properly, and also you have to learn the correct spelling of it, right? So what did I say? Supportive tissue is divided into three main types. That is, first one is parenchyma, second is collenchyma or sclerenchyma. Collenchyma or chlorenchyma. Okay, and then third one is sclerenchyma. Let me write down on the board, and then you can understand the spelling properly. So I have to rub this part. Okay, now so what did I say? Supportive tissue are having three types. What are they? Parenchyma. You see here, parenchyma. Okay, the spelling, try to learn the spellings. All the terms spelling you must learn it properly. Okay. Then here I have written chlorine. Now chlorine is not the correct, means not the full term. After chlorine you have to add chyma, CHYMA, chlorenchyma, since space is short, so I am writing like that. Then over here it is sclerenchyma. Okay, now I am going to discuss about these three types of tissues in details. Now, as you can, like if you have your book, you can take out your book and you can also see the diagram of all these three types of tissues, and these tissues contribute or help in various functions. First, let me tell you the characteristics of these tissues. As you can see here, there is a diagram of, this is parenchyma. Now this parenchyma, you see the cells are very thin. This tissue has got thin walled cell, and it has got very big or large like intercellular spaces. Okay, so this is the characteristics of what? The parenchyma cell, right? And this parenchyma cell basically help in the functions of photosynthesis, storage of food, and etc. Then we move to the next tissue, that is, this one is collenchyma. As I told you, collenchyma and chlorenchyma are same term. So here you can see these are thick walled cells, okay, but over here if you see it very minutely, you can see the intercellular space is very less. Alright, so they are like little soft, means not very fluffy, where like you have seen in the parenchyma cell, the intercellular spaces were very large, but here you can see the intercellular spaces between the cells, they are little lesser than the parenchyma cells. Okay, then you can see here, this is sclerenchyma cell. Now this sclerenchyma cell, you can see they are elongated. These are also elongated, they are long, but then these are elongated, but then they are narrow and they are thick. Long and thick, and they are elongated and thin and narrow. And over here if you see the intercellular space, it is almost negligible, means it doesn't have intercellular space. Now if we come to this table, you can see this table. I will send you the link of this table and you can write down in your book also, copy. You can see the characteristics as I explained you about the parenchyma, that they are spherical, thin walled with large intercellular space, okay, and they consist of living at the maturity level. Then in collenchyma, the characteristics you can see, they are elongated cells with unevenly thickened cell wall at the edges and little intercellular space. This intercellular space is very less, okay, present between the cells. Then we have next one, the sclerenchyma. In sclerenchyma, as you can see the diagram over here, they are long, narrow, thin tube like walled cells, and the intercellular space is almost absent. Okay, then we come to the location of the parenchyma cell. Where are they basically found? They are found throughout the plant in every soft part. So parenchyma is found in every soft part. Okay, and chlorenchyma or collenchyma is found in petioles. Petioles means the stalk of the leaves, veins of the leaves and young stems. And sclerenchyma is found at every mature part of the plant, that is the wood, bark, and etc. means which are almost mature. Then what is the function of parenchyma? You can see here the function of parenchyma is given. It helps in photosynthesis, respiration, storage of food, and buoyancy. Buoyancy to aquatic plant. That means if you have seen the aquatic plants, some of the aquatic plant, they remain at the surface of the like water. Okay, so that is why they help in buoyancy in aquatic plants. What is the function of collenchyma or chlorenchyma? They provide flexible mechanical support to the plant parts because they are having little space, slight space, intercellular space in them, so they are little bit flexible. Whereas this sclerenchyma tissues, they will not be flexible. Why? Because they do not have spaces, intermolecular spaces. So they are almost very solid, they are very hard in structure, and that's why they provide the rigid mechanical and structural support to the plant. Okay, so this is the basic all like no, these are the like function, characteristics and the location of supportive tissue. Then we move to the next type of tissue, complex tissue. In this video we will be learning only till here. I will be sending you the next video where you will learn the final or the last plant tissue, type of tissue, that is complex tissue, which is also known as conducting tissue. And about that I will be like explaining in the next topic. What you have to do is, I will send you the link of these pages and also the diagrams. Okay, like you must be having the diagrams. It's not necessary that you have to draw the diagram from here, but then you will write this table as it is given here. I will send this picture and you can see and write in your copy. That will be your home task. Okay, and till then do read your chapter. If not, like any doubt if you have, please write me in the comment box. I will try to answer your questions. Alright, so till then, bye bye and take care.